Has there been times when it's been frustrating and difficult since then? And have you had to rethink things in terms of your game and playing?
Yeah, I think you're obviously going to go through periods where things don't go quite your way, and I think that's what makes the good times so good. But you know, I've worked hard at my game, and I know that overnight you're not going to become a bad player. You know, when you do get an opportunity to score runs, you try and cash in and make the most of it. And unfortunately, I didn't quite manage to do that today.
Joe, there will be some people who come to a test match and listen, it's quite expensive to come to a test match, and sometimes test match cricket is gritty and that's part of the game, but other people expect to be entertained and want to see boundaries and 4 runs and over. Do they have a point?
I mean, people come and watch cricket for a number of reasons, but that's something that we can't always control. We need to play the situation, and fair credit to Australia, they bowled pretty well tonight, and well, all day really, and you know, they've made it very hard for us to score fluently. The pitch is quite slow and quite hard to time the ball on, and you know, you've seen throughout the summer people like Ian Bell and Ken Peterson who generally score quite fluently. It's not always that easy, and you know, I think fair credit to Australia, they bowled pretty tightly, and you know, we've played pretty well to get to where we have tonight.
Do you think that the pitches should be a bit harder and flatter and more conducive to scoring rather than making it difficult to score?
That's not really for me to decide.
What would you prefer to play on?
Well, as a batter, you want to play on flat wickets, don't you? Score as many runs as you can, but you're not going to get many results with that. And you know, we're here to win a series and come away, well, ideally 4 or 5-0, but it can't always happen like that.
At what point did you decide that you couldn't win the game and you decided to play for a draw?
That's not happened at all. I mean, we've played some hard cricket, and it's not always easy to just go out there and score at 4 and over. I think, like I said, full credit to Australia, they made it very hard for us to score freely today. And sometimes you've got to accept that and just play the situation as it is.
When your opening partnership has such a slow start as you did today, and you have in other tests as well, how much does that set the tone for the whole innings?
Well, it obviously sets a tone, but I think the key was making sure that we got off to a start where we got runs on the board, and making sure that we had a platform to build from, and we did that to a certain extent today, and we managed to get a few good partnerships together, but slightly unfortunately we didn't kick on in any of them. Hopefully tomorrow that can change and we can get a good partnership with Chris and Belly.
Joe, the slow scoring, was it tactical? Did any instruction from the captain to bat less than?
No, definitely not. Like I said, Australia bowled pretty well at us. It is a slow wicket and it's been hard to score freely on. That's just cricket sometimes. You've got to play the situation, and that's how it's been today.
So, talk about obviously maybe trying to get 4-0 out of this series, but you ignore the first number of the series and just focus on the last one. How satisfying would it be to send Australia with a 0 next to them?
Very. I mean, you want to win by as big a margin as possible, and we know there's a lot of hard work left in this game, and we just got to try and play the situation as best as possible. And tomorrow when we get out there, we're going to have to make sure we build a good partnership like we did towards the end of tonight, and really crack on.
Does it feel good knowing how much effort and these bowlers that Australia are charging in, trying to take these wickets, how much effort they're putting in to try and win the game, and for them to come away with nothing would be a real victory in a way?
Yeah, definitely. You always want to come out of a series with the best possible outcome, and whether that be 4-0 or 3-0 or however, that's our target. And we can only play the situation and then the very next ball, and I'm sure that's what the lads will be concentrating on tomorrow morning.
Joe, how much do you guys as a team look at a test match and when you're in a situation where the opposition has made a good start, do you look at, you can't win a test match necessarily quickly from that position, but you can lose it quickly, so you've got to dig in?
I don't think so. I don't think you ever look at losing a test match. You look at every possible way of getting the most positive outcome, and I think we've done that very well throughout this summer. And I think when we play well, that's what we do well. And I think that fair credit to Australia, they've played some really good cricket. But we've got to concentrate on sticking to what we're best at, and that's held us in good stead this summer.
Could I just rephrase that slightly? Is it about staying in the game as long as possible?
Yeah, I mean, you always want to try and stay in front of the game, ideally, but if not, then you need to try and find a way of fighting your way back into it.
Joe, I suppose you've got half an eye on the return series in the winter. Are you sort of personally thinking about the challenge that you're going to face out there as opening batter and the different conditions you'll face, and how much of a challenge that's going to be for you and us?
To be honest, I've not thought of it at all. We've got a massive 2 days ahead of us, and we've got to make sure that we scrap really hard to get a result out of this game.
Joe, once upon a time, not so long ago, I suppose 2.15 and over would be kind of normal in Test cricket. But do you think 2020's really changed people's expectations in terms of being entertained? And do you, as an England team, feel any kind of responsibility to actually go out and entertain the crowd, or is it just about the result?
Obviously, there's some sort of responsibility, otherwise no one would come and watch. But like I said, it can't happen every game, and unfortunately, with the way that they bowled at us and the conditions and the pitch, it's not been viable to score at a quick rate today. And we've just got to play the situation and make sure we get the best possible outcome for England. And the lads have worked extremely hard to get to where we are tonight, and we're going to have to keep on working extremely hard to kick on in the morning.
I think there was a few sort of verbals out on the field there from Australia today. Does that tell you that maybe they're getting a bit tetchy and this wait for a win, your tactics in preventing that is sort of working?
Yeah, I mean, Australia are there to win games of cricket, and they're going to try everything they can to do that. And we just got to make sure that we concentrate on what we do and not worry about them, and just make sure that every opportunity we do get a chance to do anything well, we nail it.
Last couple.
Joe, just on the sledging and the back and forth between the teams, like it seems to have gone on through the series. Darren Lehman said that the Australian players have been at Stuart Broad and things like that, and then obviously today's events. Has it been bitter, the tone, or is it light-hearted? What's the tone been?
Well, it's Ashes cricket. You play cricket hard on the field, and hopefully we can have a beer together at the end of the series. I don't think any of it's malicious, and hopefully we'll find out at the end of the series if we can all have a beer together.
Sure, obviously it's an old cliche that they say winning's a habit. Australia now haven't won a test match in a long time. If you can sort of ensure that doesn't happen in this test, how big an edge does that give you with the close proximity of the next series?
Sorry mate, could you repeat that? I couldn't quite hear you. Sorry to be...
Yeah, you should be on board with this accent. But yeah, so winning, as they always say, is a habit, and it's been a long time now since Australia have won a test. If you can stop them doing that in this test, how big an edge does that give you, given the proximity of the next series?
Yeah, massive. With any series, you want to come out with the best possible outcome, like I said earlier, and if we can go away with 3-0, it's obviously going to stand us in good stead going to Australia.